Got it bumping. Hello, hello.
Yo, can you hear me, Aaron?
Abe, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Now I can.
Okay.
Can everybody hear us? Let's see the chat. What's everybody saying? Yes. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our official new feature announcement live stream. I am Erin Foster, the Senior Marketing Manager here at BeatStars, and I am so excited to share with you guys that we have a new product announcement today. We will be launching Beat ID, and I have our CEO and founder, Abe Batchin, here to talk about it. Thanks for joining us, Abe.
Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I am so excited for this launch. I think, not to put aside any of the other features that we've launched before, but this one is just it's so different for me. And really, I'm so excited because I think it's truly going to change the game for anyone that uses BeatStars. So I was
Y-
wondering if you could tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about
you,
it.
you know what makes me so excited about it actually is the potential, the potential of what um what this could do for a copyright owner, or like what this could do for like a music producer or creator of original music. And it really opens the door for so much. So guys, thank Aaron, thank you for the introduction, and I appreciate everyone in here that has joined us to celebrate this launch of this new product, Beat ID. Um, a few years ago, and you guys might be able to track this in our Instagram. I asked a question a few years ago, and I don't know where it is, but I asked a question a few years ago on our Instagram. Would you guys would you guys like to know where your music is being uploaded and consumed across the social internet, the social web? Um, and it was the most liked and commented post at that moment in time. And it was it was a what I noticed over these last few years, especially with how social media has kind of evolved, is even back from the beginning days of Facebook, and even from the back of the beginning days of like MySpace, music has always been the driving factor in all of these music platforms, within their growth, within how they've built their communities. Music was kind of like a conduit that brought everyone together on these social platforms. But the the artist in me, the songwriter in me, want didn't I didn't like that the internet was these major social corporations and these major like social media platforms were generating billions and billions and billions of dollars off of my intellectual property. It
Yeah.
bothered me, right? It
Yeah.
bothered me. And our producers unknowingly have been giving the world their intellectual property across these social platforms for so many
Right.
years. And these platforms have built these massive, enormous businesses on the backs of our producers and our artists. And and so I said, how are we gonna fix that? How are we gonna like yeah, how are we gonna like open the window?
New
And
challenge.
yeah, it was like a new challenge. It was like a new challenge, and it was like one of those light bulb moments. I'm like, shit, AI is starting to really emerge. Um, the ability, I mean, Shazam has been here forever, right? And
For so long.
the technology to kind of identify acoustically your music on UGC platforms and are it's here, right? It's not like this is a challenge that, oh god, we got to wait 10 years for, right? It's a
Right.
technology like
Right.
maybe in the future these social platforms will pay the content creators. Maybe no, actually the timing is now. The timing is now.
Absolutely.
The technology is here, and these UGC platforms, listen, they do a lot of great work to expose and you know, make our music um, accessible to broader audiences, which is a great thing. But at the same time, we cannot lose and remiss the fact that it's my art, it's your intellectual property, it's your music, it's personal to you, it's your baby.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
Absolutely.
I get it. It's great for promotional purposes, but hey, it's time for me to know where my music's being uploaded, who's using my music. Also, I may not agree with how my music is being used on that platform, and I need to find a way to like manage that.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be like, maybe there was a video, there's my music used in a video, in a political
Yeah,
video that I don't fucking agree with.
absolutely.
Don't use my music. No one ever asked, right? And so we have to shift the power back into the creator's hands. Our entrepreneurial members, our producers, our artists, our songwriters, they're bosses, man. They run their own shit, right? They run their own shit. And for the longest time, we didn't know who was using our music. You know, we just don't know. We just don't know whether it's illegally used or legally used
Yeah.
in ways where it's like, oh man, I wish I
Had
you
known
know
that
had
this person was
known this
interested in me.
artist. Yeah,
Yeah.
this artist. You know, and I always go back to thinking about you know, so many stories from our producers saying, damn, this major artist was in my inbox using my beats you know, years before he blew up. I wish, or she blew up. Like, I wish I knew. I wish I could
Mm-hmm.
hear the song. I wish I could hear the end product. I wish I could have developed a relationship with that person and build. And so for me, it was a no brainer to come up with this product, Beat ID. I think it's the ultimate empowerment tool in today's world in how music and content is being shared and consumed. And I'm so fucking excited that our people our people get to know our
We
people
get to
like
have it. We get to
yeah
have this tool.
yes I'm heckin' excited. It's you
Super
know
cool.
it's out
I
now.
I was wondering if you could kind of give us a breakdown. Just what
Yeah, what
is
is it?
Beat ID itself?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. So Beat ID is a is a technology tool powered by artificial intelligence that scours the UGC. When I say UGC, that's user generated content, guys,
Mm-hmm.
platforms. So when I'm talking UGC, I'm talking YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Reddit,
Mm-hmm.
SoundCloud, you name it. Anywhere where user generated content is being uploaded and consumed, Beat ID will locate your music down to the second in the video or in the piece of content that it was used, or what percentage of your content is being used in a piece of content that's been uploaded by a user on a UGC platform. And you will now be able to get a weekly report in BeatStars Studio for your for any piece of content that you submit into Beat ID. And we tell you, and we give you links, and we give you all the information, all the data about who's using your music across all these platforms. And at this point, you know, you can do a couple things with it. Maybe Aaron, you have a follow up with that, but you know, can you hear me?
Yeah. A follow
Okay.
up with what things you can do
Yeah,
with it.
like
Yeah, of course.
what we would do with it, right? Is that is probably coming up next.
Yes. Yeah, it's coming up next. Yeah, definitely. But before you get into the, I mean, I guess there's a natural transition there, so we can skip ahead
Mm.
to just what, you know, once you find one of your beats, what do you, or even a piece of music or any kind of voice audio piece of content that you've put out, when you search for it, you know, what do you do next?
from like the results that you get
Yeah, you
from the
find
results.
it, but then like, how do I reach out to like what if it's being
Yeah.
used in a major commercial, or what if
Right.
it's
Right.
being used by a TikToker that has millions and millions of followers, but I don't know how to reach out to them.
Right.
I might not be able to get on like into their DMs and say,
Mm,
"Hey, like you're using my stuff without my permission," or maybe you did buy it, but
mm,
you're over on the license that we agreed upon. What
right.
do you do once that happens?
Yeah, I think there's a few angles that Beat ID can be utilized. A few angles. I think the number one angle I think that should be, front of mind as a music producer when utilizing the tool Beat ID is that um it's the ultimate sales channel for you. It's the ultimate sales tool for you as a music producer to to kind of be able to source new and warm audiences that you can market to. So producers are so entrepreneurial on the platform. They're utilizing all the different marketing integrations, like like Mailchimp and email and
Mhm.
SMS messaging, and they're doing their own marketing on the side, and they need to build they need to you know they need to create audiences on YouTube and Facebook through the ad channels and be able to like remarket to those existing customers of theirs or new customers that have visited their website. And so I think what Beat ID provides is it's like, dude, it's like if you have a beat that's been downloaded thousands of times and or been consumed thousands of times and been spread across the internet, you have this whole new group of people that you could be building with, that you could be, selling your products to, that you can get in touch with, whether it's like one on one or throwing those people's YouTube channels into your ad targeting or their Facebook channels
Mhm.
into their ad targeting. So now you have these ideas, these IDs, and you're remarketing to these audience because they already know about you, they're already using your content. So for number one, it's relationship building. That's the number one thing I really want our producers using Beat ID for: relationship building, finding out who's
That's
making
my
music.
favorite too. I think,
Yeah.
we were talking about on the marketing team, it's kind of similar to like a DNA test. You all once you put in the DNA of your beat, you can unlock everyone who's
Mm,
connected with it
wow.
and find almost like a family tree of people who have used your music and what stories are being told without you knowing about them. I think it's the whole mystery of what's not
Mm,
shared with you. It's like a whole what is the story of your music after you put it out into the world that you don't know about?
I
You know.
love that, Aaron. I love that. It's the DNA test for your beat. Amazing.
Mhm.
It really is. And then because it's you discover this new family that you just said, you discover this new family of collaborators or contributors and people that are already in tune with your music. People are becoming, and especially with the younger generation today, they're so willing to collaborate, and they're so willing
Oh
to
yeah.
meet, and they're so willing to share audiences and share fans by working with each other in whatever shape or form. So it's like it's the ultimate icebreaker. It's the ultimate
Mhm.
icebreaker.
I
and
got
and,
chills
and
of you saying that.
yeah, it's like it's time to meet your family. It really is. It's time.
Totally.
It's time to meet
Oh.
your. It's time to find your tribe. It's time.
Mhm.
And as a marketer and as an entrepreneur, if you don't know who your tribe is, and if you don't know who your potential customers are, then you really don't have a shot at building anything sustainable. And I think I think the other really really big use case for what Beat ID could be utilized for is, like you were saying, like copyright management. So if someone is using your music illegally, these UGC platforms are legally like binded to make sure that they protect and serve all original copyright owners.
Mhm.
So if there is someone that is utilizing your music in a way that you haven't licensed to them, or just you don't agree with, you can contact YouTube, you can contact Facebook. They have copyright compliance areas in there, and then we're also integrating to be able to do that too in the next phase of Beat ID. So you can actually manage copyright. So you can block content, approve content, monetize content, and so you'll have the options to kind of run all scenarios if you want to.
Mhm. This product, it sounds a little similar to the product that YouTube put out, YouTube Content ID.
Mm-hmm.
I just want for the people who may not understand the difference between the two, would you be able to explain how our product is different?
Yeah. I mean, in conceptually, it's very similar. YouTube's Content ID only serves one platform, and that's YouTube, right? For
Exactly.
copyright management. But
We
even
have
then, but
25 plus that we're looking at for
yeah,
you
but
now.
but even then though, even then, if you ask any of our producers or artists that have used Content ID on any other like distributors platform, those distributors are not giving you the data. You know,
No, no.
those distributors are not telling you, oh, this person is using your music on this YouTube video. They're not giving you the data. They're just sending you the royalties, sure,
Right.
but you don't really have any transparency or any kind of like insight into like who's really using your music. And I think that's the big difference maker is that there's
Hmm.
complete transparency. It's complete
I
transparency,
love it.
completely open, and the producers who are and the artists who are original copyright holders, they have the rights to do whatever they want with their art. They can
Yeah.
choose to take down something they don't agree with, they can choose to monetize it, they can choose to you know
I love the idea of for as a marketer, any piece that you find with this, resharing it as content for your own
mm,
branding and sharing it on social media, finding as you guys will see in one of our examples, we had someone who found someone reviewing Chick-fil-A in using one of their beats. And like you can find so much, but
yeah,
you might want to reuse some of this stuff
yeah.
saying, hey, if you're
BeatStars does that,
doing
right?
exactly, yeah, we
BeatStars
do
does
it.
that. Like we look at we look at music that's it can contain, like we look at videos that contain our producers' music. Like
It
we
was
had
so hard for us to find all of your
mm,
content before this,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you know?
And I think
Exactly.
the last piece, Aaron, for as we stay on the copyright topic, and we start and BeatStars, was it last year or this year we launched publishing? I feel like we launched it.
We launched it twice. So
Launched it twice.
we launched it this year. We
All
launched it
right,
this
so
year
I
to
think
the
it was
public.
this year. So
Yeah. This
BeatStars and
year has been so crazy.
BeatStars and Sony Music Publishing partnered together. If you guys don't know, and we opened up our publishing portal within BeatStars Studio, that allows you to basically collect on your publishing share for all of your copyrights that are being consumed and monetized on DSPs all over the world. Right. So
It seems like you have some kind of master plan here.
yeah,
All of
we're
these products are kind of tying together for
oh yeah,
some reason.
for sure. It's ownership. It's about ownership. It's about empowerment. It's about control of your content. It's about yeah. It's about giving our community everything they need to run their businesses. So in regards to the publishing part, so people are probably going to ask like, how are you going to? What does that mean?
Hmm.
What does Beat ID have to do with publishing? Well,
Yeah.
it's huge. It's huge. You are considered a writer as a music producer. You are a writer, and you are entitled legally to your publishing share of your copyrights. So when you go into Beat ID, and you see all of these YouTube video results of all of these songs that are being made with your music, and those songs also exist on Spotify and Apple Music. You go take those song titles, you go into the BeatStars publishing portal, you search for those songs on Spotify, and you go and register your portion of the copyright and make sure you're getting your publishing share. That opens up a whole new door, especially when you're talking about how BeatStars' business is really like focused on non-exclusive licensing. So producers are selling thousands and thousands, and I mean, I think over 8 million downloads on BeatStars every year are happening on the platform. So there's 8 million potential songs that are in the world every single year that's being used with your music that you guys are not even collecting on the publishing royalties. You know
This
what I
is
mean?
just going to change like a whole new ability to be able to open up a whole new financial stream of income,
Whole new whole new.
It's insane. It's insane.
Especially the especially the producers that are really working hard, building up their businesses, that have tons of licenses sold, but have no clue who's making music with their beats. They just can't keep track of it.
Totally.
Can't keep track of it.
Totally. With this, I guess that leads me to, what makes BeatStars the right company for a product like this?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I think inherently we've always been the first platform for the people, no matter what, right? No matter what. Like we were the first platform to send send licensing revenue directly to your to our creators as merchant accounts. We're the first platform to share um, you know all of your customer data with the sellers, with all the
Mhm.
sellers, right? The first time you actually knew who your customers were, and had all their email addresses, and all the data that you need to kind of build your music business. We're the first company to be doing that back in 2008. We're the first decentralized financial company, when you think about it, the first decentralized music financial company, and the first company to understand their audience, especially from a collaborative standpoint. The first
Mhm.
company to add collaborators to a track at the point of transaction, and all those collaborators get paid at the point of.
So
We've
cool.
always been about financial empowerment,
Mhm.
Aaron, and I think we've always kind of stood on that. We always like stood
100%.
stood on being the people's platform. You really think about it, and it's part
100%.
it's part of our identity, and and within our company, it's part of our culture. It's part of our
Mhm.
culture too, that we would rather see independent music creators become self-sustaining, self-determination, financially fit, and entrepreneurs. Like we want our community to, regardless of where they are in the world, regardless of where they live, be able to make a living doing what they love doing. And prior to BeatStars, music producers really didn't really have a shot at that within traditional music, within the traditional industry. So I think that's what makes us the right company to do this, because we've always been about creator empowerment since day one. Before it was a trend the way it is
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
You
It's our
know,
it's our DNA is,
it's in our DNA.
really being able to empower independent creators. I feel like a tool like this typically is kind of gate kept for like record
Mm,
labels, and just being able to offer it to people who are independent, creating music for a living, and then being able to put them in touch with all of the people that love their music in different ways, whether that's on a podcast or anything like that. It's just the coolest thing, and it's why I love being here and why all of you guys are here. So
yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
awesome.
We're yeah. The gate kept economy is getting old, and I think with Web3 and all of the new ways of creators being empowered and kind of decide their own destiny, like the gatekeeping is slowly breaking down completely, and we're
Awesome.
you know we're already ahead of it. So
Yeah, it's just natural for us.
hmm
So, what are some of the things that we've found already for some of our producers? Is there anything that, you know, got you really excited, or you were so excited to tell someone that we were able to find from their beats? Because I know we obviously tested out the product in the beginning. So, what did you find that surprised you?
yeah, not the perfect person to answer this question, but just from the couple kind of like instances that I've heard within the data that we've collected for our creators, is that I've heard one of our producers had a number one hit song in China. It was all over the news in China. It was all in all the newspapers and all the online sites, and the producer had no clue. Producer had no clue. It was a number one song. It was a number one song.
So cool. That's so
Um,
cool. And we keep finding more and more. I know,
yeah.
there was someone in Nigeria as well,
Yep.
using a UK drill beat that we were able to find that was huge, like 9 million views on YouTube, maybe more than that at
More.
this point.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, so many.
Yeah, we found videos with
scenarios like that.
hundreds. We found videos with hundreds and hundreds of millions of views for our creators that they had no clue that this song was like blowing up in this country or even here domestically.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff. We've caught huge brands using
so
our
many
producers
brands.
beats, huge brands like New Balance, and even like
NFL,
celebrities, the sports, all of the like
Britney Spears
Britney
dancing to
Spears.
Tendra's beat, like
Exactly, it's freaking
so
crazy.
crazy. Yeah. I love her videos. It's so cool to see a BeatStars member, his music get to
Yeah,
be on one of those. It's
it's
great.
amazing. It's amazing, and Beat ID unlocks all of that. Beat ID
It
unlocks all
sure
of that.
does. It sure does. So where can I find Beat ID on BeatStars, and how much does it cost? What are the technical details of all of this?
Yeah. So, you guys, it's in BeatStar Studio. So if you guys are going to BeatStar Studio, it's already available in your seller dashboards. But if you want to learn more and kind of like get started, go to beatstars.com/beat-id, or just beatstars.com/beatid, and then you'll be able to kind of learn about the product, see some frequently asked questions, um, start the journey of uploading your first track into the system. Currently, we are charging $10 an asset, guys. It's and I listen, trust me, I if we can make that a lot cheaper, we would.
Mm-hmm.
We would love to make that more accessible and more affordable for our creators, so it's like hitting at scale. But unfortunately, when you are scouring the internet, the entire internet,
Yeah.
when
The
you're
services
scouring,
you have to use to scour the entire internet
it
are
is
not cheap.
very pricey. It's very pricey. Even at a $10 price point, it's super affordable for what you are receiving. For what's happening in the background and all of the technology that is powering all of that in the background, trust me, um, yeah, that's $1,000 an asset service, but we're offering it, for 10 bucks. And so $10 per asset. You can continue tracking monthly if you would like to. So if you want to just make sure you have kind of like, a monitoring service for yourself on a monthly basis for your top earning content or your top downloaded content, you want to make sure you don't miss anything. You can continue tracking over time, or you can do a one time kind of situation where you want to just track the first month and receive all of the back all the back data for that track.
Yeah.
One thing to point out though is that when everyone does this process and they upload their beats, we ask for your production date, and I don't know if everyone like really is really going to understand that, and I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
very 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 important topic. The production date is the creation date of that piece of content.
Mm-hmm.
So if you made the beat 3 years ago on a certain date or around that date, make sure you're putting the production date around the date that you created your original piece of content, so we can backlog all of the uses of that piece of content, and get you all of the results and copies from years ago into your dashboard. For $10, that's just I don't know what to tell
Mind
you.
blown.
That's nothing for what you're getting. You know.
It's so cool. It's so cool. Um, I think that with once you have all that information too, it's just we have all of these different features within it that are like, is it just 30 seconds? Is it a snippet? Is it the entire piece?
Right.
And we'll have Jamil get into more of that soon.
Yeah. We're gonna have Jamil go through a whole demo, right? Yep.
Yes. And I want you guys to know that we're actually going to be doing a giveaway at the end of this session. So make sure you stay on through the tutorial when we do that. We'll have a
And
chance for you
what's
to
that
win
giveaway?
prizes.
What's that giveaway, Aaron? What are we giving?
$100 gift card for Beat ID. I mean, we're giving out $100 with 10 people will be able to win. So
Yep.
$10, you'll get to try Beat ID for free for your first month for your track. Who is the person that should be using Beat ID? Is it just producers? Is it engineers? Who should be using this?
anyone that owns anything in a copyright. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a record label that owns copyrights. It could be a publisher that owns copyrights. It can be a songwriter that owns copyrights. It can, of course, a music producer, a recording artist that owns copyrights of their songs. Like it really, it applies to everybody. It applies to everyone that wants to know how their music is being utilized and spread
Yeah.
across the web. So
I know my boyfriend's an artist, and I already have, first thing when it went live today, I put his song in to go and see where, who's using his songs.
yep,
And,
yep.
now we don't have to wait for someone to tag us in it,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
or find out, do like reverse Google searches or anything like that. We'll be able to just automatically find out who's using his music, and I can't wait to see the results.
I love what you said about from a marketing aspect how important as producers and artists it's hard to constantly create content. It's really tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough. And so if there's people, if Britney Spears is, if Tundra, if Britney Spears is using your beat in a video, you better repost that,
You better
right?
repost it.
You better repost that. That's content for your audience. That's to show your audience like
Right.
proof,
Social proof.
social proof, and it builds, confidence in your brand and builds confidence from your users.
And
So,
guess what? Your music is in it, so you're allowed to share it. You're
yep,
allowed to share it. You own
yep.
part of that. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's so exciting. Um, you know, with that, we I think we could probably go into our videos and show a little bit of what some of our producers have found.
Yeah,
Um,
exciting stuff. Aaron and the team sat down with some of our dopest producers, and we filmed some of their reactions to some of the beat ID results that from some of their beats. And Aaron, you could talk more about that
yeah.
experience, but
So we had 4 producers come in, and we got to show them the product early and just kind of get their reaction to Beat ID. So the first one that we're going to play is Rob Hodge from Track Pros. He's from Philly. Check him out. Check out Pros on BeatStars. But
track pros are
here's
legends.
they are legends. They're a team of legends out there. But let's see what Rob thinks about finding his music and what we found in Beat ID.
What's good? My name is Rob Hodge, CEO of Track Pros, and I'm using Beat ID today. I've been on BeatStars for around 11 years, and the type of music I make is street, radio, soulful, and art records. What I like most about BeatStars is it's a community. It offers the technology that we need as producers. The technology is advanced. It allows the creators to really monetize and benefit from our gifts. And it also allows me to make the type of living that I want to make, which is a 6-figure lifestyle. Before Beat ID,
I'm on the edge of my seat before Beat ID.
Oh, the internet is imperfect, but what can we do? Worst case, if it doesn't load up, we'll make sure you guys go to beatid.com/beatid, and you can.
BeatStars.com/Beat ID.
Oh yeah,
Beat
Jesus,
dash ID.
sorry about that. And you could watch all these stories. But maybe we can try to get this going one more time. Let me know if you want me to try to grab it, Aaron.
I think that would be good. I know you
All
have
right,
great
cool. Let me
internet, Abe.
let me try.
Sorry about that, guys. We'll pull that right back up. What are you guys most excited to find with Beat ID? I'd love to see in the comments. Just checking these out now. What do you guys? What's your first beat you're gonna search? Yes, Mariah, this is live.
What's good? My name is Rob Hodge, CEO of Track Pros, and I'm using Beat ID today. I've been on BeatStars for around 11 years, and the type of music I make is street, radio, soulful, and R&B records. What I like most about BeatStars is it's a community that offers the technology that we need as producers. The technology is advanced that allows the creators to really monetize and benefit from our gifts. And it also allows me to make the type of living that I want to make, which is a six-figure lifestyle. Before Beat ID, it was frustrating for us as producers. We didn't know where our music was. We found out on the aftermath after they recorded our product, we didn't know. So Beat ID is definitely going to change the game for us. When I found out about Beat ID, I was ecstatic because now I'm gonna be able to have a GPS on my production everywhere across the internet. I would recommend Beat ID to every producer, every artist, every content creator. This will be able to locate your music and find it in one place with no hassle. So this track is called Black Bentleys. It's a street banger. I was inspired by Nipsey Hussle, the great, to make this record laid back, soulful. You know the vibes. Let's check it out. Somebody from Philly. Okay. What we got? Female rapper? Okay.
Let me talk my shit. Look, I'm just thinking, trying to get it. Know that every day ain't given, so we winning while we living.
Yeah.
Tell me what's your proposition? I got
That's what's up.
Bitch, I'm gifted, man. My flow is so terrific.
Like I said before, without Beat ID, we wouldn't be able to find none of these. So now I can monetize all this, put it through my publishing portal, and get paid. Let's see what we got here.
What's up, y'all? So I ate Chick-fil-A. It was nice. The sausage was
A Chick-fil-A review.
at best. It wasn't bad.
All right.
But somebody was telling me they got macaroni.
So basically, this is a review of Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, and is it good or not? So
I feel
they're using my beat as a background instrumental
whack game whack.
while they bash Chick-fil-A.
It's gonna be whack because of the whack. That's what it is.
Wow, man. I'm Rob Hodge, CEO of Track Pros, and I found my sound with Beat ID.
Yeah, so that's just a little example of what you can find with Beat ID. One thing I want to note that I think we forgot to mention is, well, I know you mentioned, Abe, we obviously run these reports once a week, but you guys can expect to find them on Saturdays. We'll be able to come out with your report, check back then each time, and we'll be able to, find out who's using your stuff. So don't be surprised if you do it and nothing's showing up within the first day. It takes at least a week to process. So,
yeah, I think every Saturday is when Saturday morning is when we input all of the data for you guys. So if you guys get your Beat ID submissions in before Saturday, they will run and get in there. I'm seeing a lot of discussion about the price point a little bit. I just want to touch on that real quick, Aaron. And I get it, guys. It can be expensive. You have a lot of tracks. It could be really, really expensive, of course. But the amount of return that you would get from submitting all these songs that are being made from your beats into the publishing portal will make up for all of those costs. So, and then as well as submitting those same beats into our Content ID system for distribution with YouTube Content ID and Facebook fingerprinting, knowing that there's music out there being used of your music and you need to collect, your revenue from. So there's ways to offset these costs, but there has to be a way for you guys to get this data. And in order for you guys to get this data, there is a lot of work going on in the background.
I mean, say you're putting out free beats just to get yourself off the ground, get yourself out there. This would be a hugely beneficial product for you, just in the sense that, if you're putting your stuff out there for free, or maybe you're not even putting stuff out there for free, and somebody, pulled it from YouTube, pulled it from anywhere, you know, that you uploaded it. Maybe somebody's out there using it, and then you found your first customer. So, you know, it's all about your business strategy.
Speaking about YouTube, Aaron, there's some YouTube videos with beats that have millions and millions of plays, but have not generated, you know, a ton of licensing revenue, right, from beat sales. You guys know damn well. All those artists that are on YouTube, they're ripping your guys' beats. 90% of the people that are listening to your beats on YouTube, they're ripping and stealing your beats. Just letting you know. so
let's get them. Let's go get them.
Yeah, you gotta convert them. Exactly, convert them.
And you don't even have to be like a, you know, a salty confrontational person. You could be like, hey, let's do business together. Let's work. You're interested in my stuff? Great. Here's your check, and you know, where's my check, and let's start a new business relationship. So, all right, Abe, I think, you know, unless you have anything else you'd like to add.
Are we going to play another video or?
We are, okay. But okay. I think that we're signing off after this because we will give you guys our tutorial on how to use BeatID. So unless there's anything else you'd like to add, thank you so much for coming on and talking with the community about BeatID. I know we're both so excited for you guys to use this. Please, guys, tag me in anything you find. Like all of the stuff that you found from BeatID. This is my handle right here, Aaron at Aaron J Foster on all social platforms. Tag me in it and be like, I found this with BeatID, because
we're gonna hear some crazy stories.
Share your findings, you know, like we want to share it too, because it's just as exciting for us. There's so many stories of BeatStars that are not being told, and we want to know about them and share, you know, celebrate with you.
So. Yeah, your guys' wins are our wins. We're so proud of all of these situations, and so tag us, get those BeatID stories on your socials, so we can see all the amazing things you guys 100%. Are finding.
Hashtag BeatID. We'll go look under that, anything like that. So super exciting.
Aaron, thank you so much. And,
thank you, Abe.
We appreciate it, guys. It's so exciting. It's been a while since we had like a real innovative and kind of exciting launch, and I live for these moments because I know how much it can impact our community's lives in a positive way. So, guys, use these tools while they're available. We appreciate you guys. And if you have questions, hit up our support. Jamil's going to come on next and kind of give you guys the game on how to use it. It's so simple. It's so easy to use.
So simple.
Yep.
Well,
and
enjoy,
cool.
Everyone.
Thank you.
What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm excited to be here to be able to sort of show you how to use Content ID. Were we going to play that video? We didn't play that video yet from Othello. Maybe we should do that first. Let me, Marcus, if you wanted to get it up. But anyways, yeah, we're going to watch this video from Othello, and then we'll go into the tutorial right after that.
Hey, what's up? I'm Othello, and I'm using BeatID today. I've been on BeatStars for 3 years, since 2019, and I make R&B, hip-hop, pop, Afrobeats, whatever's fire. I really enjoy the community.
Jamil, can you pause that? Real quick?
Artists, songwriters all mingle together. So I really
pause it real quick.
Yeah, Marcus, can you pause that? I'm not controlling it.
Guys, it's really tough to stream on Dropbox. You can't really stream on Dropbox. So go to BeatStars.com/beat-ID. Those Vimeo videos are embedded on that page. Share that. That's a streamable video, and then make that full screen. So that's a better way to do it. Dropbox doesn't stream. So all right, I'm out.
All right. Let me pull that up. Okay. Share. Okay, cool. You just
Hey,
make
what's
that
up?
full
I'm
screen.
Othello, and I'm using Beat ID today. I've been on BeatStars for 3 years, since 2019, and I make R&B, hip hop, pop, Afro beats, whatever's fire. I really enjoy the community that BeatStars brings together. It allows producers, artists, songwriters to all mingle together. So I really enjoy how we're just all a big family. I really love how we can all be at the same platform, and it just makes everything easy. First reaction to finding about Beat ID is like, bro, this is the future. I could finally track all the songs on my beats, which add some bread to my pockets. I could finally be able to know what's going on within the community. Very, very clutch. I recommend Beat ID to any producer on BeatStars. If you're trying to keep track of your tracks, like it's helped me, bro, get on Beat ID. 2020 Vision type beat, published February 11, 2020. This is like when COVID started. So like I remember it was just like quarantine and just like looking forward to like the rest of the year and just see what's going to happen. So like I named it 2020 Vision, and I could definitely hear Meek on this. It's just that like it's that pain, like classic throwing your hoodie, just that gritty type vibe. So yep, that's what we got from it. After uploading it, I remember at first started off pretty slow, like it wasn't getting a lot of buzz, and then it caught up like because people were searching up a lot of chord type beats at the time, and Meek Mill as well. He had just dropped, so a bunch of upcoming rappers rapped on it, and then it got to the point where mainstream rappers were rapping on it, like 2C, all type of rappers, and then Meek got on it as well. And when Meek got on it, that's when it was over. Like everybody and their mom was rapping on this beat, bro. Like I was getting tagged every day, and it's a blessing, to see a beat take it that far. All right, I have this one beat I just searched up on Beat ID, try to see what's popping with it. Catches them from Twitter. What? And this girl's wait, Casanova posted this. Wait, why nobody tagged me in this one? What? Someone got so many retweets. All right, so I found this one track on YouTube. Let's see what's up with it. It's already got 31K views, and this just dropped a few weeks ago. You better be fired. Oh, it's not even English. See, that's why BID's gold is finding people from everywhere, yo. Like, what? This guy's not even speaking English. That's clutch. He's from Tunisia. Whoa, fire. Yeah, so once I search on my beat, it's gonna find all the tracks on my one beat. Could be thousands, millions, never know. Now we're gonna know that. That's so clutch. Okay, he let the intro run. It's probably about to come in crazy though.
Come here, baby, let me talk to you. Hey, you brighten up my rainy days. I swear.
Ooh.
I had it when we argue and you stay away. I had it. You know I fuck with you. You know that. I split my last $2 with you. Go, baby. One for you, the one for me. Back home.
Facts.
Baby, tell me what you want from me.
Facts.
Cause I don't got nothing but this loyalty and love.
See, now I could DM this guy and just be like, "Yo, bro, you fire!" Like, see, like that's clutch. Like when you can find actual songs on your shit. Yeah, yo, we about to have fun with this beat ID. I might have sit here and just search up every beat, yo, see what's popping. Cause like, bro, I'm trying to find the next big artist, and like, why not? This makes it like it sets it up for you. Like you can just search up your own beat. I'm Othello Beats, and I found my sound with Beat ID.
Oops, my fault. Sorry about that. So to get started using Beat ID, you're going to have to visit studio.beatstars.com. And then you could pull up Beat ID from that menu. So let me go ahead and share my screen to get that up. Okay, cool. So from your BeatStars Studio, you can either click this tab or visit the page directly with studio.beatstars.com/beat-id. And you'll get this landing page first, kind of giving you a little bit of an overview about exactly what Beat ID does. So it's going to scan 28 platforms, and you're going to be able to see 7 different types of matches. So to get started, let's go ahead and do start tracking. and we'll go ahead and either upload a file or browse through your tracks. So I'll just go ahead and add a file. Let me just pull up one that I have ready over here. Then I'll just drag and drop that into this section. Okay. So then the first thing you're going to do once you upload your file is you're going to title your asset. This is going to be an internal title. Nobody's really going to see this but you. So you just want to go ahead and title this whatever is going to help you more easily, keep track of your different assets. So I'm just going to title this like, I'm just going to put trap beat, right? And then there's the production date. So Abe was kind of referring to this earlier about what exactly you should set for your production date. We do have this little handy pop-up right here that'll give you like a little bit of an explanation about what that means. Essentially what it means is you're going to want to select your production date as the date that your track first went live on the internet. So the production date is going to be the day that BeatID goes back to start tracking your beat. So you want to select the same date that it went on the internet to make sure you're tracking the full lifespan of your beat. If you put your production date as today, for example, but your beat has been on the internet for like a year or 2 years or however long, it's not going to track those dates that goes between the date that it went live and the production date. So you want to make sure you're selecting the same day that your track went live on the internet to make sure that for the entirety of your beat's existence online, it's able to track those days and go back. So if this was uploaded onto BeatStars or YouTube a year ago, I'll just go ahead and go back to 2020, put December 13th. And there we go. So now it's going to be tracking for the entire span of today all the way back to December 13th, 2020. We'll go ahead and select some artwork. This is also internal. Nobody's going to see this but you, just to help you, keep track of your beats. I'll just keep it as this because it's fine for me. And then we'll hit next step. And that's it. You just pay for it. You review your asset title, your image, your production date, $10 a month, as we were saying earlier. You could pay with credit card, PayPal, your BeatStars wallet. And you just click this to select if you want to renew the payment every month. If you deselect it, it'll just track for 1 month. If you keep it on, it'll be able to track it it'll be able to renew it at the end of the month. You could also disable this before the month is over if you change your mind. So I would just leave it on and start tracking. One more quick thing. What happens if you cancel your payment for a track? If you decide that you don't want to continue, it'll track up until a month from now. So when you pay the $10, it'll track for an entire month. If you decide to cancel it before then because you don't want to renew it, then you won't be charged once the month is over, but you'll still be able to get that tracking that you paid for. So it won't just suddenly stop on you if you decide to not renew it at the end of the month. And I'll go ahead and click start tracking. Okay, cool. So it's processing and now it's tracking. So as Aaron and Abe were saying earlier, you will be able to see your assets on the first Saturday from when you start tracking your beat. So yeah, that's it. And then you'll be able to see more assets as BeatID is able to find them. It'll just take up to a week if you do it on a Saturday until the next Saturday, up until you start to see your first copies. So you should be getting a ton of copies on that first Saturday, and then more as time goes on if there's more that BeatID is able to find across the internet. And yeah, that's pretty much how it works. I do want to show you guys what it looks like when you get your copies back. Before that, I kind of do want to mention what services BeatID is found on, because that's probably going to be another big question that you guys have. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this copy section and then click this link right here. Where can BeatID find my copyrights? And this is a list of services that BeatID is going to be able to find on. So, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Audio Mac, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, pretty much all of these major services that BeatID is going to be tracking on. Let's see if we have any quick questions that I can go through before we kind of go through what exactly a copy looks like. Let's see. What if you put in the wrong date? You can't change your production date after you select it, so I would just cancel and then redo it, resubmit. But we can check that. We can verify that in a second when we go to look at some copies. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and actually, I'm going to change this account and go into another account that has some copies into it. Let me just open that up. Does everything make sense so far? Does everybody understand everything I've gone through up to this point? Okay, cool. Let me share my screen again. Okay, cool. So special thanks to Levi Beats for allowing me to use his account to show this. Okay, so Levi Beats, he submitted his track Raspberry Ripple. Very great beat, very great track. So what you'll do once you have some copies is you can access your copies from 2 different places. What you can do is just go ahead and click this Show Copies button, and it'll pull up a list of all the copies that are found. So we can go ahead and just click View All 2,500. And let's just go through exactly what a copy is and what it's going to look like. So on this left side, to the leftmost side of each copy, you'll see an icon for the platform that it was found on. It looks like a lot of the copies for this asset were from YouTube and SoundCloud. Let's go ahead and click on this. You'll see the title of your asset here. So this is the asset that you uploaded. And then this is the information about the copy. So this is a YouTube video called Young Blue and Kalani Beautiful Eyes, Slow Down plus Reverb. So it looks like this copy is using, so it looks like the asset appears in 5.1% of the copy. It's giving us kind of like a rough estimate of where within that copy your asset appears. So it looks like Levi's beat appears towards the beginning of the copy. The reason we provide this info is if you want to click on it and quickly be able to find where that is found. It looks like they used about 8.2% of the asset. So about 8.2% of Levi's track is appearing in this. And there's a direct link to the copy. So if you click on this, it'll open up in another tab, so we won't see it. But you'll be able to directly see that YouTube video. And that is, oh, okay. So now let's go ahead and talk about what these symbols here mean. So these symbols are representative of the different match types. So this is the symbol for a snippet. And this 30 here represents snippet 30. Let me see if I could find, how do I use BeatID? Where can BeatID find my copyrights? Okay, so there are different match types. This one is snippet 30. As we said, there's also snippet 10. So a snippet, let me pull up the actual definition of it because I have it typed up here. Okay. Whoa, what happened? My computer screen just blacked out for a second. Okay, I'm still live. All right. And let me share my screen for that. We just put it up over here so you guys can see it and we can go over it together. Okay. So this red symbol here with this line around it is a symbol for an exact match, and that's a one-to-one match of your asset. So that would be if people like directly copy your asset and then just upload it somewhere else. This full match is a copy that contains 100% of your asset, but also has additional stuff within it. So if somebody uses your full track in a YouTube video and there's something else in a YouTube video, you'll see this symbol here for a full match. A partial match is 100% of the copy matches your asset, but does not contain the entirety of your asset. And then there's the snippets, as I explained earlier, which is like a short section of the copy contains your asset. And yeah, you can go back and refer to these. These are just another way to help you like quickly identify like what different types of what different types of matches like appear in BeatID. So you can like get to the more pressing ones that matter to you a little bit more quickly if you do have a ton of matches like Levi has. All right, what other sections do we have to go through? We also have filters, which is just another way to filter. You can filter by match type, like I mentioned earlier. You can filter by the amount of views. So if you want to organize these by how many views, because maybe you want to go check out the ones that have the most views first. So yeah, I mean, it's super simple to use, but also pretty robust. There's a lot of information here, and we try to simplify it as much as possible to help you tackle it in a way that sort of makes more sense. So let's go ahead and try out a filter first. Let's just filter it by views. So let's say we want to see things with more than 10,000 views. It'll organize it exactly like that. So we're just seeing the things that have more than 10,000. It looks like this one up top has 403,000 views. And it looks like they've used a snippet of Raspberry Ripple, and this is called Yin Yoga. See if I could pull this up just to see what it is. And it looks like it's just a yoga video, like a yoga tutorial. So that's pretty cool. I mean, there's no way that Levi would have known that his track appeared in this yoga video without this. So Lee, I know you're watching. If you ever want to do some yoga, I have a recommendation for a video that you can watch since it's using your track. And I think that's just about it. We are going to do another tutorial on Wednesday on BeatStars Academy. Until then, if you wanted to review any of this, you can rewatch this video or click this button right here to learn how to use BeatID. We also have another tutorial video that I'll just add to this article here. This is just a step-by-step guide of kind of how it works, like I've gone over today. And yeah, that's about it. Let me see if there's any quick questions I can answer, and then we can do the giveaway. Just review some of these. I think you can use either one, tagged or untagged, if you think that it's more likely that people are using an untagged file. But I really don't think it matters because it scans like the entirety of the asset. So like we were looking at earlier within that percentage screen. So it'll be able to recognize if it's using like the last 5 seconds of your asset. It'll be able to recognize the beginning portion. So whether or not it has a tag shouldn't really make too big of a difference because it's scanning the entirety of the asset. Okay. Okay, I mean, it sounds like you guys are really excited to start using this. So yeah, I'm just like Abe and Aaron were saying, we're really excited to see kind of what you find. So let's go ahead, and we do have our 10 gift cards that we want to give away. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask you guys a question, and we just want everybody to give us, an answer in the chat. I'll just pick 10 people from that. So our question is, how are you going to use all the data that you will receive from BeatID? I'll give you guys a few minutes to answer there. How are you going to use all the data that you will receive from BeatID? And we're going to be picking 10 people to give $10 gift cards to go ahead and start tracking your first asset. This is some good advice right here. I would definitely, I would recommend doing it for every track you have, if that's a possibility for you. If you had to kind of choose maybe one or two that you wanted to do, I would definitely go with your most downloaded and most played tracks. I think that's the best bet if you wanted to just try it out, or if you could only do one or two right now just to see kind of how it works and maybe save other tracks for later. I would just do your tracks with the most plays or downloads. Okay, cool. Let me start putting up some of these. Oops, drawing AirPod. Start putting up some of these comments on the screen. I use it to help build my community. Great idea. Start networking. Meet some of these artists or some of these people who are using your tracks. I think that's a great idea and a great use of BeatID. Catch all the artists who haven't credited you yet as their producer. That's another good use. It's your material, your copyright, so you definitely want to be able to know about those things and profit off of them if people are using your tracks. Reach out to people using it and thank them and try to build with them. More community building, I like it. Gonna hit up the artists that use my beats, build up with them. I like this. It seems like you guys are really focused on building networking. So I think that's a great use. As Aaron was saying, it doesn't always have to be like a gotcha. You can just use this to find out who are the people that are more interested in your music and see how they're using it, and maybe try to offer them special ways and figure out more ways to use it. It's not always artists using your tracks. It could be like a yoga instructor, as we found out with Lee. So if somebody likes using your beats for yoga, maybe you can sort of try to cater that to them. Find out new ways to market. Register your publishing from every song. Another great use. Better branding for your business. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and select some. All right. So first person, let's say Wavy Senpai. If I select you and this is not your BeatStars username, please tell us what your BeatStars username is so we can make sure we get those credits to you. I'm going to write all these down too. Make sure we don't forget them. All right. Baby Senpai, is that your name? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Your Eye Dragon. No Kahoot quiz until Wednesday. Sorry, Bufo. No Kahoot quiz today. All right. Keon. Remember, if this isn't your BeatStars username, let us know what it is. Kiko19. All right. Let me go back up to find. Let's see, Eighth Life. Brando Jordan. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people so far. We got 4 more to give away. You guys can still answer. I'll read some new comments too. Okay, we got SSPK Beats. Okay, let's go back to new comments. Okay. This is, okay, I think we got 2 more. 2 more gift cards to give away. Okay, let's say 8 font. Okay, 1 more. Last one. I want a good answer for the last one. I forgot how awkward this is when there's not another person to fill in the gaps when you're reading and not talking. Okay, let's say Lil Nap. Okay, congratulations to our winners. We're going to get you guys $10 in credits to be able to try out Beat ID. So the winners are Wavy Senpai, Your Eye Dragon, Kion, Kiko19, Eighth Life, Brando Jordan, SSPK Beats, Not Newman, 8 Funk, and Lil Nap. If I put your comment up on the screen and told you you were winning, or those were one of your names that I just called, and your BeatStars username is something else, please reach out to us and let us know. Besides that, I think that we are done. I will see you guys again on Wednesday. We'll do another one of these kind of breakdowns. We'll have Levi on here. We'll kind of go back and forth, maybe talk about some more of the copies that we found from his beat. And yeah, thank you guys for joining. I hope you're excited to start using Beat ID. And we'll see you soon. Later.